Hello, BookTube. Shall we see what kind of goodies we get in the week's first mail haul? It ends in not one, not two, but three boxes. So let's see what the first one is. The first one is by the great folks at Europa Editions. It's going to have a very pretty cover. It doesn't have one on here. This comes out in September. It's by Chris Wormersley, and it's called City of Crows. But this is what it's going to look like. Look at that cover. Wow. So I don't have anything to show you here. What is this, though? It's set in 17th century France, a country in the thrall of dark magic and weakened by years of plague. And it's inspired by true events. It tells the story of Charlotte Picot, a young woman from the countryside forced to venture into the fearsome city of Paris in search of her kidnapped son Nicholas. On her own for the first time in her life, and desperate to find her child, she's soon drawn into the world of the occult, where she discovers she is indeed more powerful than she ever imagined. Okay, so this is going to be a paperback. City of Crows in September. That sounds and looks really good. Historical fiction with a twist. All right, a fine way to start. Let's move on. What's this next one here? Another paperback. Oh, okay. This is the trade paperback release of Artemis by Andy Weir. Nice looking things. Probably covered in blurbs. Yeah, USA Today has a blurb on the cover. The Wall Street Journal, the Associated Press, Chicago Tribune, Houston Chronicle, the Washington Post, Ernest Cline, the author of Ready Player One, and more. And Salon and NPR, and the pub sheet is probably covered in even more. It was rapturously received, not quite by me, but by almost everybody else. So good for him. So this comes with, golly, okay, this comes with 3 full pages of blurbs. Incredible. It's kind of a shame that the book-buying public won't see that. That's pretty impressive. The book-buying public will only see the blurbs that are actually on the thing. There's plenty, though. So, all right, good. So, Artemis in paperback. We'll move on to these boat-sized things here. 2 paperbacks to start things off. Let's see what this next one is. Okay. All right, very good. At the end of the paperbacks and the end of fiction. This is due at the end of June. We've already seen it. It's the finished copy of Helen Rappaport's The Race to Save the Romanovs. That's nice raised gold letters. There's the doomed family there. Who had relatives. They had relatives among the royalty all over Europe, including England. Most especially England. And quite a few of those relatives could have saved them if they'd reached out their hand and made an effort. The family could have been saved. At the very least, just in grubby, pragmatic terms, the family could have been ransomed. And they weren't. Because most of those relatives, most of those other principalities, were worried about uprisings of their own, of the type that had toppled the Romanovs. I don't know. Maybe we judge those people, especially the House of Windsor, too harshly in retrospect. Maybe that was more viable at the time as a worry. Doesn't seem like a good excuse, even if you are worried, but but I haven't actually read the book. I've had the advance copy for quite some time now, and I haven't read it. I'll have to rectify that since it's coming right up. Let's see. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, this is from St. Martin's. This is due in early July, and it's incendiary. It's by Walter LeCure and Christopher Wall, and it's called The Future of Terrorism. And the subtitle is ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the Alt-Right. Let's see here. What is this? Since the death of bin Laden in 2011, ISIS has risen, Al-Qaeda has expanded its reach, and right-wing extremists have surged in the United States for the same simple reason. Terrorism works. It's not caused by psychosis or irrationality, as the media often suggests. Instead, it's terrifyingly logical. Violent acts produce political results. In their new book, the authors answer the 2 questions everyone is asking about the rise of terrorism today. Why is this happening, and when will it end? To show why, they explore the history, rationales, and precepts of terrorism from the assassination of Tsar Alexander II through the terror campaigns by Irish and Indian nationalists to the Nazis and the Italian fascists. To explain why terror is on the rise again, they show how the American invasion of Iraq created the conditions for the emergence of al-Qaeda in Iraq, part of which metastasized into ISIS, while Russia's increasing intervention in Syria allowed both organizations to evolve. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so this is due in early July. I need to get to it right away. I will probably read this tonight. Okay. Interesting. All right, now let's move on to the boxes. Here's the first one. Boxes are often fun. They often have good things in them. Let's see what this first one is. Oxford University Press. It's by Michelle Mendelsohn. It's due on the 1st of July, so it might be out already, but Oxford's usually not strict with their embargo dates. And this is Making Oscar Wilde. It's a book about the making of Oscar Wilde. Witty, inspiring, and charismatic. Oscar Wilde is one of the greats of English literature. See, I've never found him to be so. So of all these books, I get 2 Oscar Wilde books a year at least. All of them just sort of, they missed their mark. Today, his plays and stories are beloved around the world, but it was not always so. His afterlife has given him the legitimacy that life denied him. Oh, that's very good. His afterlife has given him the legitimacy that life denied him. That's good. Making Oscar Wilde reveals the untold story of young Oscar's career in Victorian England and post-Civil War America. Set on 2 continents, it tracks a larger-than-life hero on an unforgettable adventure to make his name and gain international acclaim. Success is a science, Wilde believed. If you have the conditions, you get the result. Well, okay, so Michelle Mendelsohn is a literary critic and cultural historian. She's a professor of English at Oxford University. She earned her doctorate from Cambridge University and was a Fulbright scholar at Harvard. So I'm going to read her book, obviously. I guess I can get quite a bit out of the book without connecting with the subject. That's what I'll have to do. I have tried and tried, and it just doesn't work. Oscar Wilde is just one of those authors that it just doesn't work with me. I'm sure you have authors like that, where you're not even angry. You know that they're revered, you know that people like them, but you just don't connect with them yourself. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, if Oscar Wilde is one of the authors that you really do connect with, if Oscar Wilde is someone that you really love, I have a double. I have 2 copies. Oxford accidentally sent me 2 copies of this, so I'd be happy to send you Making Oscar Wilde, especially if you have a mind to review it. And then we'll do this last one, this last box, which is feeling a little ramshackly. Let's do more than 1 book. Oh, it is more than 1 book. Okay. It's more science fiction from Angry Robot. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, so the first one is by T.J. Barrie, and it's called Space Unicorn Blues. And it's a debut. Not 6th in a series, not anything like that. It's a debut. A misfit crew race across the galaxy to prevent the genocide of magical creatures. Humanity joining the intergalactic community has been a disaster for Bala, the magical creatures of the galaxy. They've been exploited, enslaved, and ground down for parts. Now the Century Summit is approaching, when humans will be judged by godlike aliens. When Jenny Parada, disabled Maori shuttle captain, is contracted to take a shipment to the summit, she must enlist half-unicorn Gary Cobalt, whose horn powers faster-than-light travel. But he's just been released from prison for murdering the wife of Jenny's co-pilot, Cowboy Jim. When the Reason regime suddenly enacts laws making Bala property, Jenny's ship becomes the last hope for magic. Oh. Okay. All right, that sounds really good. I'm assuming, okay, this comes out in early July in paperback. I'm assuming that it's just going to be playful from beginning to end. So I'm going to give it a pass on the whole magic bit. What is this next one here? Okay. If in the course of Space Unicorn Blues, the author at any point explains how a unicorn's horn can enable faster than light travel, then the unicorn is no longer magic. And if the author can't explain that, then there's a wild, uncontrolled, rampaging unknown running throughout the book. A get out of jail free card, a transmogrify your friends and neighbors card, running throughout the book that is unaccountable to reality. If you cannot explain, if you do not in the course of your book explain how unicorn horns power faster than light travel, then you're under no obligation to limit what unicorn horns can do. If you give them a limit and a system and an organization, then you are creating a science. And magic, well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the author just means magic in the conventional sense. What if we... Oh, my. Wow, okay. This is called Lost Gods. It's by Micah Yongo, and Angry Robot really needs to pay this cover artist a little bonus. That is a mighty good cover. Okay, let's see what we have here. In this debut, a young assassin finds himself hunted by the brothers and sisters he trained alongside since his birth. Nathan, Neythan, is one of 5 young warriors trained and raised together by a mysterious brotherhood of assassins known as the Shadaim. When Nathan is framed for the murder of his closest friend, he pursues his betrayer, and in doing so learns there's far more to the Brotherhood and the machinations of the rulers of warring kingdoms than he'd ever thought possible. His journey will lead him across the 5 realms, from the Forest of Silences to the ash plains of Kalapar, and reveal the breaches that lie underneath the world and the hidden truths of his oath. Okay. Well, this is also due in July, but I'm really eager to get to it now. It's due in the first week of July, so I can certainly get away with doing it. I love debuts, and both of these sound really good. And I love science fiction, and I don't get a lot of science fiction in the mail. And that's it. That is our first mail of the week. Not bad at all. The full spectrum from silly to super serious. So we have 2 copies of Michelle Mendelssohn's Making, Oscar Wilde. Then The Future of Terrorism, which is subtitled, once again, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the Alt-Right. The Race to Save the Romanovs, in a finished copy. Paperback of Andy Weir's Artemis, which I will read again, just in case I was being, since I'm the only discordant note in the chorus, I will read it again, of course, and see if I was just being wrong about it. Then City of Crows, by Chris Wormersley. Space Unicorn Blues, and Lost Gods. So, I've got a distinct top layer of science fiction and fantasy. So it's just a welcome change on this channel. So there you go. That is our first mail haul of the week. So I'm going to wrap it up for now, but I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.